This is week 2, and I'm gonna record the solution of the practice quiz 2. And we're gonna start with, this week we're talking about logic, and we're gonna use also the truth tables, which are in the formula sheet included in the week 2 lecture material folder. So this is the truth table we're gonna use when you solve this practice quiz. So here you go. So we have, the first question is, we have to, the following statement contains statements. So we're going to look at these statements and we're going to identify whatever they're simple statements or compound statements. So they're simple when they have one idea and they don't have connections. And the connections between two statements are connectivities. The words you're using is and, or, not, and also if, then, and if and only. Only if. So this is the connection between the two simple statements to make a compound statement. So here we have the first equation, the first example we have, the first statement, the first sentence is, if the electricity goes out, then the standard telephone will still work. So we have the connection is if then. So this is compound statement. Okay, so that's how you show your work. You can just explain, use your words, because we have if then, which is one of the connectivities. This is compound statement. The next one, the sun is shining and the air is crisp. So the connection here is and. We have two different ideas, and this is also compound statements. Okay, the next one is the temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is only one statement, and that's why this is simple. Okay, and the next one is if Katy Smith. So if you have if walks 4 miles today, then she will be sore tomorrow. So this is also compound because you have the connectivities if and then. The next statement is the bonfire is burning, which is just one idea. It's simple. And tomorrow is Saturday. It's another simple. And today I have math class is also a simple statement because it's express only one simple idea. Okay, so this is kind of English question, not math question, but this is the first part of your practice quiz 2. The second one, the second number 2 is for each of the following compound statement assign variable. So here we have to get compound statement. We have to assign the variable to the individual statements and then symbolize using the logical symbols. So we're going to use the first one. I'm going to make a little room to write it down. So this is what you have. If the tent is not pitched, then the bonfire is not burning. So here we have if and then. So this is the connection. Also we have not and not. So this not, you're going to represent it with logical symbols. So what are the logical symbols? Let's write that down first. The logical symbols are and, or, not, if then, if and only if. So these are the logical symbols we're going to use. And then we're going to start with writing the statement first. So here I'm going to write the statement A is going to be, you can use A, B, C, doesn't matter what letter you're going to use. The tent is pitched. That's the first statement, A. Then B, A, period. Next one is B. I'm just going to use letter B. We have the bonfire is burning. That's my second statement. And then we're gonna represent it with symbols. Now, in the week 2, so let me explain. When you go to your week 2, this is where you're gonna get the truth table formula. This is what I'm solving right now. And this is the file with symbols. You can open these symbols, and if you want, copy and paste from this file, okay? Because this includes all the symbols you need to use for this week's quiz. Now, you can also go to insert here symbols, and you can insert some of the symbols are there also, but you need to find them first. Okay, so we have these are the two statements. Now let's write the logical expression. So we're going to have if the tent is not pinched, so we're going to have not A. If then the symbol, the logical symbol was this one, and then you're going to have not B. So this is going to be your answer for the logical statement. And you have to have all these answers. You have to have the statement A, statement B, or you can use PQ, doesn't matter, X, Y, doesn't matter. So this is my answer for the first example we have, okay? Always remember the statement A, B, C, they have to be in positive tone, which means here it says the tent is not pitched, but my statement A is gonna be the tent is pitched, because you have to use the not symbol to make it negative, okay? To get the negation. The next one we're going to do the same way. We have Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States, and it is snowing. So here the connection between the two statements is and. Okay, so we have, I'm going to write statement A. It's going to be, I'm going to just copy and paste. Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. So that's my first statement. That's my simple, it's a simple statement. It's a little longer statement, but it's a simple. So statement B, because it's only one idea. B is it is snowing. Okay, that's my second statement. And then the logical expression is going to be the first statement, which is A, and for and we're going to use this symbol, and statement B, and it is snowing. Okay, and this should be my answer here for this example. This is the logical statement. Then we're going to go to the third example. I put some more examples here so you can see how that works. And this is the next example. Today I have math class. And so and is the connection. It is not the case that today is Saturday. So we're going to have also not negation. So we have today I have math class. That's my first statement A. Oops. So A, I'm going to just copy this. Today I have math class. That's my statement A. Statement B is going to be today is Saturday. I'm going to copy and make it. Today is Saturday is my second simple statement. Now we're going to write the logical expression when you have today I have math class, so that's statement A. And so I'm going to do the and symbol. It's not the case, so I'm going to use not be. So that's what you're going to put here. And if you want it to look better, you can just put a little interval between them. Okay, so that's going to be my logical statement. Okay, and I'm going to just box the answer. Okay, then we're going to go to the next one, which is number 3. For the following statements, give the negation. So you have to make it opposite of it, make it negative. Okay, so the first one is the United States Post Office delivers mail. So what is the opposite of it? Does not deliver mail, right? Or it is not the case. You can just write it like that. It is not the case. Oops. That. So that's going to be the answer. It is not the case that the United States Post Office delivers mail. That's one way of writing it. I'm just gonna copy and paste here. It's faster that way. So this is one answer you can put there. It is not the case that the United States Post Office delivers mail. Or you can write it, the United States Post Office does not deliver mail. Okay? That's right. That's how you do it. You just put not, make it opposite. The email is unreliable. That's the next example. Now the opposite of it is it's reliable, right? So you can just put it is not the case that the email is unreliable, but you can just change it from negative to positive statement, and you can just delete that un in front. So that's the answer. And I'm a student, you can change it to I'm not a student, right? I'm not a student. I'm gonna just I'm just gonna do this so I can fit everything here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so the answer here is gonna be I am not a student. Okay, or you can just write it is not the case that I'm a student. So you can do it two different ways. And both of those ways are correct. So I just did both ways for the first example, and then the second one I just used the shorter version of it. Okay, so then you're gonna go to number 4. Oops. And number 4, we have to construct the truth tables. So when you do a truth table, you can, because you're going to do it in Word file, I'm going to insert tables here, and I'll show you how to show your work. So I'm going to construct a truth table. Now I'm going to do the first one. And I'm going to do both of those actually, so I can see how that works. So I'm going to insert a table. If you have two letters, P and Q, A and B, then the truth table is going to have four rows. So let me show you. And I'm just going to include something, and we can just make it. You can just add or change, depends how many you need. So you can add or delete rows and columns. I'm gonna make it like this, like a table. And then here I'm gonna put the letter P. And then here I'm gonna put the letter Q. And then always, if you have two letters, the combination between two letters always, if you look at the truth table, is like this. P and Q like this. True, 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 false, false, true, false, false. So always, if you have two letters given, this is how you're going to start your truth table. Always like that. So this is like a standard. You can just copy that and use the same. If there are two letters in your truth table, in your statement, if you have only P and Q. If you have P, Q, and R, then you're gonna have different case. So I have the combinations of true and true, then I have true and false, and then also false and true, and then I have false and false. Oops, false and false. Okay, then after that you have to break down this true statement, logical statement. You have to break it down. So first you need to do not F, not P, which is opposite of P. Then you have to do not Q. And then after that you have to do AND. Okay? So here you're going to do 3 different operations, 3 different columns. Now, if I look at the next one, I have to do, the next example here, I have to do not P, and then I have to do if and then. So here I have only 2 operations to do, 2 columns to fill out. So this is how you do it. So first I need to do in this column, I'm going to do not P. I need to make not P here. Then I have to do not Q. And then after that, I have to put everything together. I have to do technically AND, operation AND. And I'm just going to put everything there. Not P and not Q. Okay, like that. And this is going to be my answer. The whole table is going to be my answer. So how you do that? First, you're going to do not P. And not operation is really easy. So I'm going to focus in my P, which is here. And opposite, not P is going to be true. It's going to change to false. Okay, so that's what that means. True become false. The next one is also true. It's going to be also false. False is going to change to true, and false is going to change to true. So just switch them. Now we do the same with not Q. So I'm going to look at not Q. Let's use different color here. I'm going to use Q, this column, and I'm going to switch it. So if I take false, I'm going to change it to true. Okay? Let me just, so this change here. So you change everything. I mean, the whole column is changing. So we have not Q is going to be false. The next one changed to true. The next one change also to false. And then change the last one to true. So you just switching them. Okay? And then after that, we're going to do the operation AND. And AND, we're going to look at the truth table here. This is the operation AND. Okay, this is OR. So this is AND. The next one, the next truth table give me OR. What's happened? The operation. Then you have if then. And the last one is if and only if. So these are the results, what you're going to get. So if I have, looking at these two P and Q, so what I have, AND operation give me true only if both of those are true. So if I have true and true, both of those are true, then the answer is true. Everything else is false. So I have to have two the same, true, to give me true. Everything else is false. So that's how you're going to read this. So I'm going to compare now. For this one, I'm going to look at the column of not P and column of not Q. So I'm going to look at those two. And if I have true and true, so this is the case where I have true and true, the answer is going to be true here. And everything else false. So the rest of it is going to be false. And that's my answer. And here, if you want, you can just put this in different color. And you can put it in the center if you want and just make it whatever you want to make it. You can make it pretty. So that's how you do the truth table. Okay, then I'm going to do one more example here. I'm going to do the next one also. And then there are a few questions like this which are the same. Probably I'm not going to do them all, but I'm just gonna do a few more. So that was number 4 because it says construct the truth table. That's all, only what it says. Then you're gonna go to the next example, and I need a little move it up. So here I'm gonna insert, so that's what you're doing, insert table, and just insert, doesn't matter how big is the table. You can always delete rows or add rows in this table. So we could have 2 letters P and Q again, and here actually I added more rows, so I have the combination is the same. If you remember, it's always start with the same, so it's going to be true, true. The next one is true and false. The next one is false, true. And the last one is false, false. It's always like that. And if you forget what you have, always look here. So you always start with this. If you have only 2 letters. Okay? And then here it looks like I have extra row. So this is what you're doing to delete. Click on this, right click, and just delete the row. And it's going to disappear. Okay, so here what you have, we have to do not P first. And then you have to do the rest of it. So this here we have only 2 operations. So I'm just going to copy that inside. Oops, sorry, hold on, it's too big. Okay, I'm going to put it, type it in, not P, if and only. So I'm going to go insert symbols, and this is my symbol, and then Q. Now if you go to symbols here and you don't see the symbol you need to go to more symbols and then find the one you need. Okay, I'm using this regularly, that's why I have them here, but if you don't see them, you need to go here and find it. Okay, and then I have extra column, so I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna right click and delete. Come on. I can just, there you go, and then delete the column. Okay, so this is what you have to do. First, you're going to start with not P. So not P means I'm going to look at P and I'm going to make opposite of it. So for not P, I'm going to look at this column only column P. So we have true is going to change to false. Then true is also going to change to false. False goes to change to true, and then true again. And then the next one, the next operation is if and only if. So we're going to look at the formula sheet to see what that operation is doing. If and only if is right here. So this is the operation we're doing, and let's look at those. So here we have, if you have true, true, it's going to give me true. And if I have false, false, that's going to give me true. So it's true if they're the same. So that's what you're going to look here. So I'm going to look at these columns now. I'm going to look at not P and Q. So looking at those two, if they're the same, is true. So I have true and true are the same, false and false are the same. So those two columns, those two rows, they're gonna be true. Okay? And the rest of it, when they're not the same, is gonna be false. And that's my answer here. This is my, you can make it different color, center it, and that's my answer for this truth table. Okay? The next one, number 5, it's also similar. We're going to do truth tables also here, so I'm going to need more room. It says the following statements pairs have identical truth tables or not. So here we have 2 statements. So I have to do this one. I'm going to say this is the blue one. I'm going to do the truth table for this. And also I'm going to do another one, which I'm going to call the red one. So I have blue and red statements. and I have to do them together and then compare. Do they get the same truth tables? Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one. The first one I have P, if, then Q. So I'm going to start with creating the truth table for the blue one. So I'm going to go insert, and I need a table of 5. And I'm going to just go here and make it smaller like this. And then I have capital P and capital Q. And because the only 2 letters, I start with the same, true and true, true and false. Oops. F. Then I have false and true, and false and false. So this is standard. This is how you start. And then I need to find what is P. And then I need to go insert symbols and put the, it's not equation, sorry. I need to go insert and symbol, this one, and then Q. Now, let's look the operation, how this operation looks like. So it's this one. Oops. Need to go a little up. This is the operation we're doing. P, if, then Q. So this is the operation. So let's look at this. This operation is important. Which one is first, which one is second? So this operation is false only if the first one is true, the second one is false. So it's important. P is the first, Q is the second. So I have true, false like this, and then it's false. Everything else is true. So that's what you're going to look here. If I have true, false, it's false. So here we have true, false. We're doing the blue one. We have true, false. So this one is going to be false and everything else is true. So this is the truth table for my first statement, for the blue one. And I can just make it blue if you want, if you wish, blue. And put it in the center. I'm going to highlight it. Okay, so this is my blue statement, the truth table for my blue statement. Then I'm going to include another table. I'm going to include it down here. And that's going to be the red one. So we need to do the red statement again. And the red one we're going to do, see, when you insert it, it's big table like this. But when you click at this corner, you can make it smaller. And even you can put it here next to this if you want. Okay. So what you have P and Q again. That's where you start, P and Q. Then here for this one, I have to do not P, and then I have to do or Q. So first I need to do in this little table, oh sorry, I need to erase this. So I have to do not P, and then after that I have to do not P, and oops, insert, just copy this symbol, and Q. Okay, so that's what I need to do. Sorry, I was in. Okay, so let's do that. First, you're going to start standard with the way they are, true and true, true and false, oops, false. Then you have false and true, and false and false. And then we're going to do not P. So when I do not P, I'm going to look at the column P, and then I'm going to make opposite to get the not P. So we have true is going to change to false. The next one is also false, and then you have true and true. And then here we're going to do not P, so I'm going to look at not P column. And also I'm going to look, so this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to do not P and Q. I'm looking at those two columns when I do, this is the operation OR. And OR operation, it's in the formula sheet, is over here. This is the OR. Or it's always true only if you have false and false, and then it's false. Everything else is true. If you have at least one true, the answer is true. Okay? But if both of those are false, then it's false. So that's how the OR operation works. So here I'm going to look at, I have false and false. So this is going to be false, and everything else is going to be true because they have at least one true. So this is only false, and then true and true. And now this is my true table for the red one. I'm going to make this red, and I'm going to bold it and put it in the middle, the center. Okay, so looking now, comparing my two tables I have. I have the blue one, the blue statement, and the red statement. So this is the true table for blue, and this is the true statement for red. So when you compare those two, do they look the same or they look different? So you have true, false, true, true is this one. True, false, true, true. They're all the same, right? So here you're going to say that they have, these two statements, they have identical true tables. They have identical true tables because they're absolutely the same. So what you're comparing here, you're comparing this one, this column, and this one. They're absolutely the same. Okay? So that's how you do those. You compare if they have identical true tables or not. Here we're going to do the same because you have two statements. I can just do the same. This is my blue one. And this is my, sorry, this is my red one. Again, if you want to just use different colors. Okay, and then you do the same. Again, you have only two statements, two letters P and Q, so the table you're going to start is going to be absolutely the same. So you're going to have 5. So let's do that. So here we have P lowercase. So make sure if it's lowercase, you use lowercase and use the same letters P and Q. So then here what you need to do is we have to go over. So I'm doing the blue statement. So when you do the blue statement, we have, let me go to the blue. So here we're going to have different things you're going to do. So first you're going to do P and Q first. And then after that, you're going to do not P. And then after that, you're going to do OR. Okay, so here you have 3 operations you're going to do. So let's start with P or Q. So that's what you're going to do first. P and Q, so I'm sorry, P and Q. This is lowercase p. You have P and Q. Then after that, you're going to do not P. And then after that, you're going to do the operation OR, which is P, everything. P and Q. And then you have OR, not P. So it's a little long, but that's how you do it. Okay? So this is how you do the blue one. And then for the red one, you have only one statement. So it's easy, one table. So it's easy to do that one. So first, you're going to start with P and Q standards. We have true and true, true and false, and then you have false and true, and then you have two false, false and false. So it's a standard, you start like that always. Then you're gonna do the first operation, you have P and Q. So P and Q is, you're gonna look at P and Q, both of those, and the truth table, the formula should give me it's true if you have two true, then the answer is true. And you can double check here, see? You have true, both of those the same, then the answer is true. If those two are the same, true, give you true, everything else false. So that's what you're doing. So be careful when you do or, when you do and. So this is and operation. So here we're gonna have only the first one is gonna be true, and everything else false. Okay? Then after that, I'm gonna do not P. So not P is just using P. So looking at P, I'm gonna switch P. So if I will take false, I'm gonna change it here. Okay? So changing it, not P is just changing what I have in P. So I'm gonna have true in P, change to false, then false, and then true, and true. So we're changing the P. And then we're gonna do the next one, the next operation is, we're gonna do OR. And OR means only if you have false and false, then it's gonna be false. Everything else is true. So looking at those two, and only false and false is gonna give me false, and everything else is true. So only here I'm gonna have false, and everything else is true. So that's the OR operation, and this is my actually result for the first statement. That's the result for the blue one. So I'm gonna do the blue, highlight, and put it in the center just to make sure I see it better. So this is the truth table for the first statement. The next one, we're gonna go ahead and do the red one, and you can just go ahead and gonna do this. I'm gonna insert the table down here, and then I'm gonna move it up when I make it smaller. I'm just explaining how I'm doing all of this. Okay, and then, so this is my truth table. I'm gonna make it, oops. Sometimes it's kind of tricky to go to the corner. Come on. Okay, let's do this. Okay, doesn't want to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna make this small, and this small. And I'm gonna just take, so this is another way of making this table. Oh, I see why it's not like that, because these have to go to the next one. Come on. See, when you work with Word, sometimes it's making all this stupid stuff. Oh, come on. Okay, I'll fix it. Okay, another way of doing that is if you can just delete the table and do it again. Okay, that way, so we're right here. I'm gonna make more room here. We have enough room to do all this stuff we're doing right now. So I'm gonna go here and insert. So I'm gonna do it again. So don't be discouraged if the truth table is making stupid stuff like that. So you can just delete that and just do it again. So now I have to go here and make this. See, I got it now. So make it like that. And then you can take this little X here and you can put it wherever you want to put it. I'm going to move it a little bit over here. And then you can drag it and make it, oops, make it a little, where it is. Oh, it's running away. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Just leave it. I will leave it here. Okay, so here we have the red one. So I'm going to do the red one. So you have a lowercase p and lowercase q. And I have to do only one step here, one operation, which is p. I'm going to insert that symbol there, if and only if q. And we're going to start with the standard, true and true, true and false, false and true, and to false, false and false. So here the operation if and only if, you can always look at the formula sheet. If and only if was the last truth table, and if they're the same, then it's true. If you have true, true, the answer is true, false, false, the answer is true also. So here we're going to look at this and let's see, we have, I'm going to use red color here. So if I have the same true, true, false, false, the answer is true. Capital true. False. Okay, so if they're the same, true and true, then the answer is true and the rest of it is false. So I'll just follow the formula sheet in the truth tables. And now this is my answer. This is my truth table for my second statement, which was the red one. Oops, sorry, not this one. So here we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this in red color and I'm gonna bold it and put it in the middle. So I'm doing this in different ways so you can see that you can use different things. And now we're gonna compare. So let's compare what you got. We got the truth table for the blue one is here. The truth table for the red one is here. Are they the same? We have true, false, true, 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 false, false, true. So they're different. And the difference comes from this here. Okay? So these are two different truth tables. So you're going to say that they're not identical. So that's your answer. They're not identical. Okay? So that's how you do this one. And then the next one is number 6, which is just doing a truth table for this one. I'm going to skip that. We just did the same. Number 7, it's like number 38 on your actual quiz. So this is just to remind you where you are, what you're doing. So here we have demonstrate whatever the following statements are or are not logically equivalent. So here we have if you do the same, like number 5. So it's the one we just did, right? When you did the truth table. So do the truth table for one, do the truth table for the other one, and if you get the same last column, that means they're the same. Okay? And then I'm going to do number 8. So this is the same way. Just do the same logical, just do the tables. The next one we have, we're going to check, we have arguments here. And we have to conclusion, and we have to see if they're valid. So this is like number 44 on your quiz. And I'm going to show you how to do this with the truth tables. So what you're going to do, we're going to do the first argument, So this is the first argument in the truth table. Then you're going to do the second argument in the truth table. Then you're going to do both of those together. And then also you're going to do the conclusion, which is the third one here. Okay? So let's do that. So we're going to start with inserting the table. So we're going to have, now here we have three letters, A, B, C. So I'm going to show you how to do if you have three letters. I'm going to include this table and show you how to do the three letters, A, B, C, because everything is going to be in one true table. So you have the letter A, B, and C. And when you have A, B, and C, three different letters, you're going to start with, this is the standard. So I'm going to show you the standard. So you're going to have, there are different ways to do that. So I'm going to start with true. Hold on, I'm doing it. I don't want it bold. Okay, so if you have ABC, the standard is true, true, and true. Hold on, I just don't want it red, and I don't want it bold. Okay, so I have true, true, true. That's how you start, and then you can pretty much do the same. Like look at the two first. So you have true, true, then you have true and false, and then you have false and true, and false and false. That's what you do if you have two letters, right? But now because you have three letters, then the third letter can be true all the way for this case. And then you're gonna have, here I need more row, so I'm gonna include two more. Okay, so you can have this the same way we did with two. And then you're gonna have the same, but when the third one is false. So it's going to be true and true. So this is the combination you're going to do always. False, then false and true, and false and false. So the same, you copy that. But now the third combination is going to be when everything in the third one is false. So these are all possible combinations for three letters. So if you have three letters, if you want to just copy this, just the way it is, and that's what you're going to use standard if you have A, B, and C, or P, Q, and R, three different letters. So the first one I'm going to do here, I'm going to do A. I'm going to insert if, then, B. So that's the first one I'm going to do. Then I'm going to do another column for, see how I click here and I insert another column. So I need more. I'm going to do not B, because I need that for my second statement, not B. And then I'm going to insert that if then C. So this is my first statement. This is my second one. And then I have to do AND, combination of 1 and 2. So I have to do AND operation between those two. And I'm going to write it here. Oh, sorry, let's delete this. Okay, so I'm going to put here 1 and 2. It's not going to look like that, don't worry. I'm going to like that, move it. And then I'm going to insert one more column for the conclusion of this in these arguments. So we're going to include here not C. So this is what I need to do. The last one, the number 3, is not C. So this is my third one. So this is 3. So we're doing the two statements, arguments. So we have 2 arguments and we have the conclusion. These 3 dots here means conclusion. And then we have to do all of those. And then we need to see if they're valid or not. So this is how you do it. We're going to start with doing all the things we have. So let's do number 1. We have A. Number 1 is A if then B. So we're going to use those 2, A and B, to get to this one. So the operation if then was, this is the operation if then. If you have true, false, the answer is false, everything else true. So that's what you're looking for, true, false, to get false. So we're looking at those 2 only, the first 2. So I have true, false, and I have another true, false. There should be 2 of those. So these are the only 2 places where I'm gonna have false. See? Only true, false give me false. Everything else is true. So I have true, false is gonna be false. And this true, false is false, and everything else is gonna be true. Okay, so we did the first one, the first argument. Then you're gonna do the second one, which is not B. Now, because I have not B, probably I need to include, I need to find what is not B. Yes, I need not, I'm sorry, not B. So I need to find not B first in order to get the next one. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm gonna just delete the not B first. I mean, change the B to not B. So now I'm gonna look at B and I'm gonna change it to not B. Okay. So start from B, change everything to get not B. So what that means, true is gonna change to false. False is gonna change to true. True to false. True again, false, true, false, and true. So they're changing. Then we have not B if then C. So if then was true, false. So now because we have the first one is not B, so this should be true and C should be false. So I'm gonna look at those 2 now. C and not B and C. So we have true and false. So I have it here and here. So in this, it's going this way right now. The first one is true, the second one is false. The first one is true, the second one is false. So this is the places, these 2 places are gonna be false only. And everything else is gonna be true. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, then the next one, I have to do AND operation. And the AND operation is operation of 1 and 2. And this is 1, and this is 2. So I'm going to look at those 2 columns, this one, and these 2 columns. And I'm going to perform AND operation. An AND operation is true if both of those are true. So I have to have true and true, give you true. There's another true and true. Another one, and another one. So these are the places where I have true and everything else is false, and I can show you right here the operation AND. If you have true, true, the answer is true, everything else false, right? So I'm just showing you again. So we're gonna get only the places I circle is gonna be true, and the rest of it is gonna be false. False, false. Okay, so this is my 1 and 2. So this is kind of combination between the two arguments, and I'm gonna make this let's say blue color and put it in the center, because I'm gonna compare this answer with the answer with not C. So what is not C? So for not C, I'm gonna just look at C and switch it, right? That's what not C is. So I'm gonna look at, let's use this one. So this is my conclusion, not C. So I'm gonna look at C, and I'm just gonna switch the C. So this one, looking at this column, I'm gonna change it in here. So I'm gonna start with the first one. The first one is true. The opposite is false. Oops. Then I have false. I'm gonna change it to true. Then true is gonna change to false, 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 and then true, false, and false. Right? So I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. I'm looking at C. Oops, hold on, I messed it up. So I have false, 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 and this is true. So double check it all the time. When you do it, double check. So you have true change to false, 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 then true, and then true again, and this is true, and this is true, right? So this is what you're gonna get. Yes, so not C, it's opposite of C, and this is what you're gonna get. And it's correct right now. And I'm gonna put it in red so I can see the difference. I'm gonna bold it and put it in the middle. So now, after you generate the table for the first argument, the second argument, put them together with AND. So it's kind of, if you see if conclusion is valid or invalid, then it's something like when you go to court. You have everybody present the argument, then you have AND, which is like a combination of all the arguments, and also you have the decision of the judge, which is the conclusion here. So here we are comparing, are those valid? Are they correct? Is the judge make the right decision? So they're correct. If they're valid, then they should have the same truth tables. And now let's, oops, sorry, I'm going up and down, sorry. So now let's look at those two. So we're comparing, we're looking at this column and this column. Are they the same? Obviously, they're not the same. So that means the conclusion here is that it's not valid. Okay? It's not valid. If you get the same columns, then it's valid. Okay, so that's how you do number 8, and we're gonna go over number 9. So here we have a few statements, and you have to get the conclusions, to provide a possible conclusion, and this is like a number 50 in your actual quiz. So here we have some cars are Toyota, all Toyota cars are electrical, and therefore what you're going to conclude, some cars are electrical. This is kind of easy way to do that, but I'm going to explain that. We have some cars are Toyota. So here we can look at the So you have the sets of all the cars. Some cars are Toyota. So these are the Toyota cars. All Toyota cars are electrical, so that means the electrical cars include the Toyota. So these are the electrical, okay? And the conclusion is going to be that some cars are electrical because the big one here, the big set we have, are all the cars. So these are all the cars. Okay, so the conclusion here is going to be, I'm just going to type it in so I can have it. Some cars. This is your conclusion. Okay, so that's my conclusion. So this is pretty much the last question for this quiz. If you guys have questions, schedule tutoring and let me know. Okay, you got it. You can do this.